Right, we're back with another episode of the On The Bench podcast, the UK's #1 football podcast. And on the bench today, to my right, we've got Mr. Sugar Sean's back in the building.
Back again.
You say back again. Rast.
Back again.
Are you gang now, Sean? You gang now?
I'm probably a part of the gang, yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
100%,
I'm here. I'm getting regular appearances.
Yeah. He's getting regular features. Starting lineups. And also on the bench today, we've got Mr. Talk to Frank, a.k.a. Mr. Grinch, Mr. Roy Keane, Mr. Grumpy. How you doing today, boy?
I'm really grumpy today, man. It's
Sweating.
proper warm out.
Right, listen, just so everyone knows, it's 30 degrees in here.
It's
30 degrees outside. It's probably about 35 in here.
It's a sauna in here.
No AC.
Feeling like the Club World Cup, man. From last week,
Got to stop it for a couple of hours, innit?
It's hot in there. It's too hot.
Too hot.
Oh yeah, we was talking just before we jumped on cam, and Frank was saying he's having a debate in one of his group chats about what was your debate about world class players? What was it?
Shout out to Heathrow Rejects, man. We're having this debate on our group.
Heathrow Rejects.
Go on.
So, how many world class players do we actually have in the Premier League right now? Genuine world class players.
What genuine world class players right
Yeah,
now?
not like the Sean. I know for you, world class is like
It's very high.
the creme de la creme.
It's very, very high.
Yeah, which I understand. So, how many would you say that we've got that are world class in the Premier League? I mean,
if you name a few.
so let's go Liverpool because they're the champions. Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson.
Alisson, the goalie, I would say world class ish.
He's world class.
Yeah,
he's top three in the world.
Yeah, I'd say Alisson's world class.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, mine's ain't because if you're top 3 in the world.
It doesn't mean that you're
like I think. Like I'm definitely putting Van Dijk in there. I'm definitely put Alisson in there. I don't know with Salah.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling
come
you.
on.
You know,
That's just me personally.
What, Salah world class?
Yeah, because I look at the positions though. I look at the positions and I think, who can he sit on the table of forwards that I'm putting in the world class category? How many subcategories are there of world class? Because if you're looking at Messi, is he sitting on the same table as Messi? No. Is he sitting on the same table as Ian Robin and them? Maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? He's sitting on them kind of tables. It's like, obviously there's certain players that are super elite. Do you know what? It's like, if I put Robin in there, I have to kind of put Salah in there. So I probably would put Salah in there.
Yeah, he has to be world class.
I have to. Yeah, you kind of have to.
His output is world class. He's got world class, and it's not just this season; it's every season.
Yeah, it's every season. So it's like, I think you're gonna have to put him in there still.
Right.
So you got 3 there.
So we got 3 for Liverpool. Who finished second? It was Arsenal. Do Arsenal have any world class players in their team?
Nah.
Realistic world class.
I think.
Would you put Declan Rice as a world class player?
I wouldn't put Declan in there yet to be world class because I still think some of them are on the process of becoming world class.
Yeah.
But then I think to myself, I potentially could put Saka in that conversation very, very, very soon.
Soon. That's
very soon.
That's the same thing.
Okay.
I reckon they're not there yet.
Yeah, like Saliba as well. Like Saliba's not
Gabriel?
there for the amount of years. Gabriel, he's had one unbelievable season. But are you going to be able to put him in there as a world class? You need to put in 4 or 5 years of graft.
Okay.
Consistency.
So we're saying no for Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah.
City, Rodri's got to be in there.
Rodri, he probably hasn't necessarily put in 5, but we've already kind of clearly seen in his position, you put him up against the people of the past.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's necessarily stacked to the standard of what he's been able to provide as a DM. So probably Rodri.
De Bruyne obviously is gone now.
Yeah, De Bruyne is gone.
De Bruyne we can't count him anymore,
we
can we?
can't count De Bruyne.
Yeah, because he's not in the Premier League anymore.
Haaland.
He's an absolute beast, isn't he?
Haaland's world class.
Yeah.
But Foden and...
No, Foden's not world class.
Foden's not...
I think Foden's in the Saka category as well.
He's also in the Saka category.
Yeah.
The same with Gavardio is also there. Like
Gavardio,
Gavardio will end up being world class, but they don't have much experience.
What about Ederson?
Bernardo Silva obviously is in there, but I wouldn't put Bernardo Silva probably.
I wouldn't put. I wouldn't put world class now.
I don't know, man. I love Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, he's quality player.
I put him up there high with some players of the past.
You reckon?
With David Silva.
No way.
Yeah.
You put him out
that high?
Silva? You're fucking.
I like
No way.
That's me personally.
That's a Rastafari.
Me, I'm putting him up there.
Okay,
still.
but not world class at the moment.
I don't think so.
He's not.
He's at near enough. I wouldn't put him up there. In terms of his whole career. Yeah.
All right. So we've got 3 from Liverpool, 2 from Man City,
None from Arsenal.
none from Arsenal, and then we've got
bypass. You can bypass us.
No Chelsea. But right.
Newcastle.
Hold on. Bruno Fernandes. Is Bruno Fernandes world class? I'm saying yes. I'm saying Bruno Fernandes is world class.
It's positional. Do you know what it is? It's all positional, you know? It's like, because when you look at players, it's like where they play. Are they top 10 of all time, top 20 in their position in the world of all time?
But the thing is, you can't... of all time, it's hard because football's been going on for a long time.
A table can be big.
Yeah, it's so...
But
it's
sometimes a bit crowded.
Yeah, I don't think of all time, but...
No, but then when you say all time, they could rank next to somebody. It could be joint. Like, they can be on par with somebody else.
If I'm putting like this is what I'm trying to say, it's the standard, man. It's like, however, how high do you hold your standard? Because do you put him, like, if you put him next to Özil, you'll say they're very similar in terms of what they've put
Who's that,
out.
Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno.
Nah, Bruno's better than Ozil, man. Come on.
But then Jaydan will probably...
Nah, he's better than Ozil. No, he's...
Bruno.
Nah, he's...
Bruno's better than Ozil doing what, though? Scoring goals?
This is what I'm trying to say.
Work rate, shooting... You know what I mean?
On the magic.
Ozil's all left foot. Yeah, but aesthetically, Ozil.
And then you have to say.
You see how the conversation.
Two different players.
They are different players. But you telling me that you'd honestly rather have Ozil as your number 10 and Bruno Fernandes? 100%. Be real.
Your number 10 is there to create goals.
If Ozil had been your number 10 instead of Odegaard, or Bruno had been your number 10 instead of Odegaard, I guarantee you Bruno would have won you lot of the league.
Because Bruno
guarantee
goals.
You. Right.
Yeah,
but that's what a number 10 should do as well.
But give Ozil a striker.
Yeah, but Bruno Fernandes don't need a striker. He was still going to get you goals and assists.
I prefer to have Ozil and the striker.
See? I'm smart. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a debate. People will debate that.
I'm putting Bruno Fernandes in the world class
category. I prefer to have Ozil and a striker.
Yeah, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. So you'd rather have Mesut Ozil and Kai Havertz than... I don't know.
No, Kai Havertz not a striker, bro.
All right, then you'd have... All right, so...
If we had Ozil and Aubameyang, we'd have won.
Nah, I don't think you would.
This is why the conversation of why I talk about when I was talking about Salah. Because you look at your position and you say, what do you want from that player in that position as a primary thing?
Yeah.
And you want creativity. Salah's got assists to his name. He's got loads of numbers, but... It's when we watch it with our eyes, the eye test is massive for us. For when we talk about world class, we want eye test. Obviously, some people can put up crazy numbers,
but on the eye, they're not
silky.
Yeah, but again,
Bruno's mad numbers.
But then Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't always good in the eye after from 30 onwards. In his teens and 20s and everything, he was unbelievable technically.
But then he changed his position. He became a striker, though.
He became a striker, but
so
at the same time, you've got players like Brazilian Ronaldo who was a striker, who was a number 9.
Yeah.
And he was still technically... Anthony Martial was good in the eye the way he played football. Dennis Bergkamp was good in the eye the way he played football.
Different ways of how you get the ball to him. Ronaldo was an end product striker.
Right.
He weren't giving it into his feet to work with. And you got to remember, back then there were 2 strikers working with everyone. So you had more space and you'd be able to get the ball and turn on people and dribble at someone and then be able to take on someone. Now, we don't play 4-4-2, we play 4-3-3 now. Isolated strikers. So Ronaldo's played in that era of end product guy. Can you win the header? Can you score the volleys? We've seen him score crazy goals. But it's like, for me, it's just with Bruno, he's consistent. He's a top class, consistent player every year. Is he world class? I don't think so.
What do you think he needs to be world class? What do you think?
Sometimes I think it's stylistic for their positions. It's about what they do, what is required in their position, and what have we seen? What's the benchmark of a top player in that position? We've seen number 10s in the past, great number 10s. Is he around that kind of stylistic creativity, goals? Obviously, he's got goals in his game, but you take out penalties and stuff like that and the free kicks. He has scored crackers, don't get me wrong, but it's just number 10s are there for creativity.
But he scored some,
but he creates. Has he not created the second most? I think
but
he's
what is classified as creating?
That's a good.
Crossing in the ball.
Yeah, it's not just crossing the ball, though, is it? It's through balls. It's
attempted passes.
Yeah, it could be. But along with Kevin De Bruyne, he's either first or I think he's second. He might be second just behind Kevin De Bruyne, who is widely regarded as arguably the greatest player that's played in the Premier League in terms of midfielder. De Bruyne. He's created, since he's joined the Premier League, he's created the second most chances in the Premier League. And this is for a poor Man United team. City have won the league title, 4 or 5 times, 6 times in De Bruyne's time, by the way.
When you say poor Man United team, what do you mean? Like
sometimes
we finished 15th.
Sometimes
you lot still had good squads.
Squads, but not teams.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But
so
not,
just because you still had brilliant players, so let's not get this twisted, bro. The managers might be.
But we're still a poor Man United team.
But
We're not.
You've still had brilliant players on your team, bro.
No,
sometimes you have to.
Yeah,
but sometimes you also have to consider it's sometimes being in a poor side enhances the more time that a person gets on the ball.
Yeah, I get that argument as well. Yeah, I do
goes
get that.
through someone.
Yeah,
so
I get that as well.
It's going to be more.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's how it is.
But you know what, Sean? You have to do it still.
Yeah, you still have
do you
to
understand?
do it. Yeah, I'm not saying that Bruno hasn't
ultimately,
done it.
you look at someone like Højlund, Garnacho. Yes, they're young players.
Yeah.
I get it. But the ball's going to them a lot, and what are they doing with it? Nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why we're not scoring. Bruno's creating a whole load of chances, but they're not doing anything with it. So even Chelsea, you look at Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson, for the amount of chances that he gets, he should be scoring more. Kai Havertz, the amount of chances you still got to put those chances away. You've still got to create those chances. Do you understand? So
but for world class, this is why world class is the creme de la creme.
but again, right. Again, you listen. I've said this before, and I'll stand by what I say. Bruno Fernandes would get into probably any team in Europe, any team.
Yeah, maybe now, but I'm saying we're in a standard of football where it's really bad. We're not in a great standard.
That's another conversation because we had this conversation the other day.
We're not in a great standard.
We had this conversation the other day, and we were talking. He said, Jay said that football. He's kind of changed his mind. Football before isn't as good as it is now.
No, it's become systematic.
No, but the
player quality is not the same.
But the physicality of the players now and like the
time
time you had on the ball back then and all of that.
Yeah, 100% it's changed stylistically.
So I would say what I was saying to Frank was like a Dennis Bergkamp now. He's not going to look so as good as he did then because of the time.
But then we don't know what it would have been like if them guys were playing under this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe technically they're just better than what these
guys
guys are now.
Remember, you're going. Obviously, we can't.
It's very hard.
It's
very hard.
If you put him how we know him to be in this thing now,
but that's what I'm saying. It's different.
It's
different. Remember, Wenger only came in and started making everyone eat salads at a certain level. Like
it's true.
Yeah.
What would they have been like if they were treated better? They might have even been way better than what they were. So it's like. It's one of those.
Well, this is what I said. I said you take those players from the past, and then you bring them in with the sports scientists now, with the physicians now, with the fitness teams now, and all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine like an Eric Cantona at 10% more? Can you imagine Gianfranco Zola at 10% more?
But then it goes back to my point. Then we're not getting to see certain technical abilities because of how the game is now.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you could say put a Phil Foden. Back then, he might look world class.
Yeah, potentially.
That's what I'm saying because the game was slower. So where the game's so fast now, they're not getting to show their talent.
That's why I'm saying it's like
as much.
Yeah, it's. But that's why it's with that specific point on Bruno. It's when you're world class in that position, you have to have a certain level of attributes that you tick off. That has to be world class in that position. Is Bruno really ticking off that creative mindset? Because like number one for me as a number 10 is creative output and the creativity, the type of the stylistic creativity. Yeah. Does he even tick that? I don't know. I think his work rate is efficient. He spams a lot. Some of them go through a lot of the time, but some of them go through. But like a lot of the time, I don't know, man. I don't think he ticks off that stylistic kind of world class bracket. Do you get it?
Is Bruno better than David Silva?
They're different players, man. David Silva.
Bruno's
more direct. Bruno's more direct.
I know, but this is
he's more direct. Yeah.
So what becomes? This is where it is.
Yeah.
He's more direct. He's good on that.
Yeah. David Silva, you can compare to Bernardo Silva, to Juan Mata, to maybe Riyad Mahrez. These are more sort of like fluid, kind of technical players, close control.
Though, number 10s.
Yeah, but they're not though because these guys play more like they can play more out wide as well. Like Mata played out wide a lot, Mahrez played out wide a lot. You know, David Silva, yes, he played as a 10, but he started off as a winger.
Mahrez is an all-in-out winger, though, realistically.
Yeah, no, he was. Again, like I said, I just see Bruno as different. Bruno is just like he's just direct, man. He's just all action. He's just like. He can play as a second striker. He can play as a number 8. He can play as a 10. You can play him out wide, but you're missing something. Yeah.
So who would you compare him to more De Bruyne then?
Potentially, yeah.
That's.
But I feel like Bruno's
that's
more.
What I'm trying to say. When you compare Bruno to Kevin De Bruyne, which they're in similar kind of like in terms of stylistically, they're very similar to that point. Look at what we've seen of De Bruyne's passing range and his creativity, and even he's not even the creative number 10 that you say stylistically. He's not nimble. He's not a through ball man like 5 yard intricate pass, reverse, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's a man that's outside of the through ball, whipping it 30 yards, 25 yards. It's a different kind of style, and that's what Bruno bases a lot on his stuff. 20-yard passes.
Yeah, I rate Bruno very, very,
So
very
I rate
highly.
him as well, but
Bruno contracted De Bruyne.
Yeah, but
Never. Could never.
I wouldn't say you can't
No,
chat
but
to him.
you're going
No, I
off
wouldn't say you can't-
stylistic.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you can't
They're
chat to him. I
conclusive.
wouldn't say like you can't say that when I've just told you that Bruno's second just behind De Bruyne.
Frank's rattled.
You're still trying to argue, bro.
Bruno isn't in the top 10 midfielders of all time. Kevin De
No,
Bruyne
he's not,
is
he's not.
Kevin De
He's
Bruyne is
not.
arguably top 3 midfielders of all time in the Prem. So from when and that's all midfielders, that's not even number 10.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne is arguably top 3.
Yeah.
Arguably top 5, definitely, most
Top
likely.
5,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So for Bruno,
Yeah, but do you know why? Do you know why?
That's
Because-
another one we should have gone out there.
Yeah.
But all right.
Top 20.
So let me ask you a question.
All-time Premier.
Let me ask you a question. If Man United had signed Kevin De Bruyne and Man City had signed Bruno Fernandes, where do you think the two would be right now? Do you see what I'm saying?
Man City signed
if
Kevin
Man
De Bruyne.
City had signed Bruno Fernandes instead of Kevin De Bruyne, and Bruno Fernandes had been in Man City for the last 6-7 years, and Man United had signed Kevin De Bruyne, Man United still wouldn't want a league. I can tell you that now. City would definitely still would have
maybe
won
not
league
won a league.
titles,
Maybe
and
not
would
won a
most likely have won maybe more than one Champions League.
I don't think Man City win the same things if Bruno was there than KDB.
Yeah.
KDB is
I disagree,
integral,
man.
and that's why he's
To
number
them
3.
winning,
That's why he's top
yeah.
3 all-time midfielders. Like
It's-
Kevin De Bruyne has been a staple for that team in terms
No,
of
De
creativity.
Bruyne is world class. Yeah,
When they
without
needed
a
Kevin
doubt.
De Bruyne's end product,
Bam,
and they
showed
needed
up.
him, he would turn up, he'd come on. Even if he was on the bench and he had to come on, they brought him on. Even to the later ages of his ages, when they would
assists,
bench
goals.
him, he would be brought on. So for me, like KDB is that standard of a number 10 of that style.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict anyway? Is Bruno world class?
I'm still putting Bruno Fernandes.
We
in
haven't,
the World
that's
Cup.
what I'm saying. We got to Man United and we discarded everybody else.
I'm still putting him in what I'm not backing down. I refuse to back down from that argument. For
What do you
me,
think?
he's
You
world
say he's
class.
I don't think he is. Me, for his position.
Do you know what? He has moments for me in games, and I message Frank like, "Fuck, I think he's world class."
Yeah.
He does some.
He does have moments.
Yeah, he does these
have
things, and
moments.
like, bruv, this guy's cold. But I
But then,
think we'll see this season.
outside of that, though,
Yeah.
who else?
Yeah,
What
so-
what other teams do you really have outside of that?
that's
You ain't
it,
got no one
really.
in Tottenham.
That's it, yeah.
Unless you want to consider Romero.
Song.
Son is.
Nah, Son's
Son was
finished.
world
Nah.
class, but he
Yeah,
was
but that was
though.
about 2.
Son had a
3
very
years ago.
good spell with Kane when he was beside him. But
Kane was world class, and he still is.
Kane was
So
world
what?
class.
You can say Son's not world class?
Nah, he's not world class.
Kane
anymore.
is sustained.
Okay, so Son just had a.
Son
Had a
has
spell.
dropped down
Patch.
Okay.
2 levels for me, not just 1. He's dropped down 2
Okay,
levels for
cool.
me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
World class when you're in your older age, you're still
Yeah.
performing.
So you've got world class, and then you've got for me like Isak, Saka, like guys like that, and then you've got the level below that. I think that's where.
Okay,
Son is now.
so now obviously we've gone through most of the big teams, and not many people have any players from the other teams, but probably there's only one player, and that's Isak.
I don't think he's world class.
But because he's not had the years in him yet, you can't really put him in there.
Yeah.
But other than that, because who else are you really stepping outside of the leagues, of the top 6 teams in the league?
It's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be.
I don't think there is
Otherwise,
anyone.
they get swiped like
They
that.
get swiped. But you got players that have potential to run into form of world class, but as of now, you ain't got no one.
But
that's
then
in
it's
there.
like world class in a Man City. in
Yeah,
a
yeah, of course.
Liverpool.
But no, but I think it's going to be stapled as a world class
No,
striker.
but would he do it at Newcastle though? This is the thing, because Newcastle are always going to fall short.
Oh no, not if he stays at Newcastle.
This is what I'm saying. He has to go to like
Yeah.
a Liverpool, a
Yeah.
Man City. I don't think
You
he'd
have
do-
to.
I don't think he would even do it at Arsenal because we always falling short as well.
Yeah, but he could be
See
that.
what I'm
He could be
saying?
the
You have
guy
to
that takes
achieve
you to the
something.
next. He could be the guy that takes you to the next level, and then he's then.
Arsenal just always fall short, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we always fall
But
short.
you can always put certain types of players in that if they're challenging and they're up there competing with the players. But if you're not in that bracket of competing, it's very hard for you to be considered world class. Because it's like with what Declan Rice was with at West Ham. You knew how good he was at West Ham. But unless he was able to win something or be at a club that was challenging, you're never going to appreciate
Well,
that
to be fair,
standard.
he did win something at West Ham, didn't he?
Yeah, he did still.
The only trophy he's won in his career still.
yeah. Still waiting to add to it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Declan Rice, now you can have a conversation of if he keeps it up for another couple more years,
Right.
maybe in the World Cup.
I've got one more.
Go
I
on.
don't think he is, but I want to ask you because you've watched him more than all of us.
Go on then.
Caicedo. Is
Yeah, but
Caicedo
I know
world
that's
class?
what I'm saying. But with Caicedo, it's like,
You can't
yeah,
judge it.
it's still he's still a youngster, really. Do you know what I mean? He's had like maybe 2 years, one at Brighton, one here now for this last season,
Yeah.
where he's been world class level.
Do you think he will be world class?
Yeah, I think he could definitely be world class in the DM role.
Yeah.
Like, to be considered as a defensive midfielder, he could be considered world class. He can reach the levels.
Right. So let me ask you a question then, and I know this goes against what you always say. You tell me what you think as well, Jay. Who's better than Moises Caicedo as a DM in world football?
Rodri.
But he's a different. He's a ball playing midfield DM, though, isn't he? Rather than like a.
I know, but he's still a destroyer, man. Rodri, when you ask him to go and cover people's, if you're asking him to intercept from people, it's just because Man City play that style, and not many teams can compete with them, that you don't really get to see Rodri do it outside of that. But whenever he's asked to go and sweep up, Rodri's
so Rodri's there, and we know that Rodri's world class.
Yeah.
Partey's up there.
No, he's not. Caicedo's better than Partey, man.
Partey's.
But
Partey's
no. But Caicedo's better than Thomas.
He's one of your best players last season, but
and the season and season before.
But then I think I see Partey. I don't see
important to our team.
I don't see the competition between Partey and him. It's more Rice and him. Like, it's more Rice to Caicedo.
Rice and Caicedo. I agree.
Your DM that is the ball progressing midfielder passer. Like, Caicedo's not really a passer. People like to try come up with it on the just because this Club World Cup. Oh, he had the most passes into the final third. Stupid numbers.
So you're talking about like the DM that's more breaking down play.
Yeah, breaking up play. Caicedo's more of a break-up play. For what we've
so Rice can give him a run for his money if you're going to break up.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say to you. So Rice has a run for his money. So it's like, because Caicedo, why have people said he's world class this year? Because of how well he's been breaking up play. It's not because he's been playing fucking progressive passes. It's because he breaks up play. So you look at the breaking up play midfielders.
So again, is there any? What can you name? Maybe one more other than Rodri? That's
what are you talking about in the world or in the Prem?
In the world.
In the world,
that's a higher level than Moises Caicedo. Because I can't think of anyone else. I put Moises Caicedo and Declan Rice like that. I think they're that close. I know they're different for their teams.
In a defensive midfield role, I don't think you really have. But we're going away from defensive midfielders nowadays. They're going for these flat midfield threes nowadays where people can just run.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at the PSG team, you look at the Barca team. Frankie De Jong's in there and Pedri's in there. Like they're midfielders that are. Some of them are build-up play guys. They don't just break up.
Yeah,
not break up
I agree. They're more box-to-box.
Yeah, so they're more progressive ball-playing midfielders now. You don't really have many DMs in there that are break-up guys.
Well, you're right, because
that level.
Even Bayern Munich have benched Palhinha for a season, who I think was awesome in the Premier League the year before for Fulham. Joshua Kimmich.
But then he's not really a break-up kind of midfielder like that to that level.
Again, so that's what I'm...
Do you reckon the style of football's changing?
Yeah, 100% in terms of midfield,
Even definitely. Luis Enrique, look at Luis Enrique. Obviously, you've got Vitinha, you've got Ruben, maybe João Neves. But again, he's more of an 8.
But that's what I'm saying to you. That's because you've got Vitinha, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah,
right. And all three of them can kind of help with off-the-ball work.
And the reason why Luis Enrique agreed to sell Ugarte to us is because he couldn't do what they do.
Yeah, he can't.
He's more of a breakup. You know what I mean? He's not at the level of Rice or Caicedo at all. So for me, as a DM, apart from maybe Rodri, I don't think there's many better than Moises Caicedo. So, but I know what you're saying. It doesn't mean that just because there's no one else doesn't mean that he has to be world class. You know?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But I will always refer to what I've seen as the best possible standard at that position. And you're looking at the Kantes, the Makaleles and all these kind of guys. You look at them kind of guys, Vieiras and Roy Keanes. So you look at him, right, is he doing what them man were doing? Yeah.
For now.
For this,
let's
this
see
year.
what he does for
he has to do that for 5. He needs to do that for 5-7 years.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right, did you finish?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to jump into some transfers. Arsenal, start with my boys, Arsenal. Linked to Eze, 68 million release clause. I think if we get that deal done, I'm happy. I'll be happy.
You said that you don't want to pay more than 50 million for him.
No, but the transfer I'm not happy with. But the signing itself.
As in the fee you're not happy with, but the signing itself,
that's a brilliant
Well, Eze's what? Is he 27 now? 26, 27?
27. I think he's 27 this year.
So he has to move this summer, in my opinion. This is his last big summer that he can move. And he can't turn down Arsenal, can he? Surely. He has
I think
to
he's
go
an
to
Arsenal
Arsenal.
fan, apparently.
Yeah.
Meant to be. He needs to play for us, I think.
What, at the academy?
We've been released. Yeah, I think he did. We released him. I'm sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure.
The whole focus has been around you lot trying to get that left winger position just nailed down and the striker. So
there could be, but what could be slowing us down is maybe I think Martinelli's leaving. Martinelli or Trossard's leaving. One of the two's leaving. So that might be a factor in for bringing in.
Martinelli ain't going to be happy with that. Yeah. He ain't going to be happy with Eze turning up.
He's meant to be linked to Bayern Munich though.
Who, Martinelli?
Yeah.
That'll be a good
all
sign
them
for
things
them.
will be all them words get had around the club anyway. Like the insiders that know about things happening, they'll be having a word with Martinelli in his ear. Really, they'll be saying they're looking to get someone in.
Yeah,
this is the type of people they're looking to get someone in. Then he can then start thinking, right, I might need to phone my agent and say, boom, I need a move.
Yeah.
Well, I told you this a while ago. I heard that when Arsenal were in for Mudryk a couple of years ago, Martinelli was not happy about that. He weren't happy because he knew that Mudryk. If you're going to pay you lot wanted to pay about 60 odd million for him at the time, didn't you?
Something like that.
Yeah. If you're going to pay that, you're going to.
Why are you showing interest in a position that I'm in?
Yeah.
That means I'm not good enough.
Yeah. Of course.
So
of course,
you're either you're trying to. Either you come to me and tell me that we're trying to get someone to get you kicking up the arse, we need you to buck up at your ideas.
Which the Trossard signing was, I think.
Yeah, so we're trying to push you.
Yeah.
We're not signing a starter guy,
yeah.
but we need backup in your position because you're the only one we really have. But we're trying to get you to up your levels. But they're kind of conversations you're supposed to have with a person beforehand.
Maybe they've had that conversation.
Yeah, maybe they have.
Maybe they've had that conversation.
What do you think? You think Eze performs at Arsenal?
He's a baller.
Palace?
He's
but
a
remember,
player.
you've always got to take into consideration he's a baller at Palace. And things run through him there.
Yeah, but he's done it.
Things might be running through.
He's looked good for England as well, though, Eze. I think whenever I've seen him play for England, he's looked decent.
He's a baller.
The only thing I'll say with Eze, he's different to Martinelli. Martinelli is a lot more dynamic. He's more direct, whereas Eze he likes to drift. He likes to come inside.
Direct to where?
What do you mean?
Direct.
No, the way that he plays, he's more. His style of play is more direct than
I
Eze.
know, but he's direct enough.
Oh, okay, yeah. But at the same time, Martinelli works harder than Eze. He tracks back more than Eze does. So I don't know if that's going to suit Arteta. But then maybe in some games you don't need that. You don't necessarily need that. If you've got the right player, full back, and you've got the right DMs covering, you can just say to Eze, look, just stay up there and just, we need you to create. We need you to do something for us.
I think that's why Arsenal are looking to more of just stay. They're the three positions: striker, left back, left winger. Because depending on who you play at left back, who are you going to really play at left back?
Scully, I think.
And that's what I'm saying. If they're going to persist with a midfielder that's been playing left back, if he's going to have them, like if you're going to move towards someone like Eze, who, the reason why you lot rate Martinelli so much, or why certain people respect, not even rate, but why people have a certain level of respect for him is because of his defensive work. Yeah. So people look at his defensive work and say, "Oh, that's good." So
work rate.
Yeah, do you get it? Hard, because if he's working hard to help out who he's at left back, he needs to help out at left back.
Yeah.
Then that's why they appreciate it.
Yeah,
100%.
Obviously, his priorities, like I say, his priorities in your position. Are you good at doing what you're doing in your position the best? And no, it ain't. But he helps out at the back. So maybe they have to get in someone that's a left back that is a lot more assertive to be able to accommodate Eze. I still think Eze still works. I still think he still
I think he
drop
does.
back and work hard, but it's obviously not to the level of how hard Martinelli works. Yeah. But Eze, for me, in a system like what he said about Palace, they don't even necessarily play towards him only anyway. They play in a system where they use loads of players. They play when
Mateta.
Yeah, like everyone gets involved.
No, so he's their main.
Yeah,
he would be their main source of creativity. You know?
Yeah, he's probably one of their main sources of creativity. Well, Manoz was massive for them, but it's like. Yeah, it's just for me their team is a lot more of a team nowadays, and he just is one of the better quality players in that team, and I think that will definitely translate into Arsenal, definitely, because the way that Martinelli gets the ball, if Eze gets on the ball, he's definitely going to produce more than what Martinelli's on the ball.
He's got a better end product than Martinelli.
I think what it's clear what you're trying to do. You're trying to create more problems for the opposition. That's what you're trying to do. Because when Saka gets it, it's a massive problem for the opposition. Can't leave him 1-on-1. Have to double up, creates gaps. But when Martinelli gets it, even if you leave him 1-on-1, even if he beats his man, his cut back or his cross ain't necessarily going to get there.
His product's terrible. Yeah. And I think that's what's costing him his position at the moment. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm happy with that signing, and God willing, we get over the line with it. And Gyökeres, you see what's going on with this Gyökeres stuff? What is going on?
Yeah, that's
they say they're not letting him go. They're saying he's flipping.
They want more money. The agent, was it the president for Sporting turned around and said that he wants 80 million euros or something rather than like the 60 million or 60, 70 million that was agreed initially and he's saying with the agent.
Gyökeres ain't going back to train.
Yeah, he's going on strike. That's a proper song.
We had a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
I'm not going out. Gyökeres, I feel you, man. I feel you, brother. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, today we saw links that Man United are going to, they got Watkins as a backup plan potentially.
We're not Man United yet, mate.
Yeah, but we're linked with Gyökeres though. You're talking about Gyökeres.
Why did you up, man? Alright, cool. We're gonna touch on Chelsea quickly.
So we're just skipping Man United altogether.
Yeah, we're getting alphabetical order. No, I'm joking. We'll go to Man United. You're gonna touch on Chelsea. Is the João Pedro deal official? Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
It's done, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You happy with that signing?
Not necessarily.
You're not happy with no signings, are you?
Nah,
what are you happy with this season?
But that's what we know the policy of Chelsea now, so it is what it is. But like, we're buying the youngsters for resale value, potential resale value. He's 23, turning 24 in September or something like that. It's near around that time. He's turning 24 this year, but buy no Gittins. Like, these guys they're same level replacements for what we have in our team.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no standouts.
Yeah.
So again, like I said last time, you're putting in players that are all 7 out of 10s, and it's going to be like, you need a team to start every week that you know is your best 11. And if you don't have that, then how are you supposed to get any kind of continuity with the way that the team plays? So he's trying to build this is what I'm saying about styles in football now. Managers are trying to make teams systematic in the way that they play and want individuals to just do what they want to do in their system. And it's about the profile of the players. Are they similar? Because otherwise you're just buying everyone that's similar to each other.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Is anyone different to anybody else? But obviously with buying no Gittins, we didn't have a left winger. That's why we had to buy someone anyway, because we sent Sancho back. So we had to buy someone.
But are you happy with Neto playing on the left?
We've got, like, this is the thing with us. We've tried Palmer in this Club World Cup off the left, which I hate. We've tried Pedro Neto there. Madueke has played there. So we've got Bino Gittins, Madueke, Pedro Neto, Esteval, Cole Palmer. We've got 5 arguable players that can play in wide areas.
On both sides,
Esteval's covering number 10, so is Cole Palmer. But then this midfield right now, Enzo has also liked to play, and like Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. So if he's going to play 3 midfielders, then Palmer's going to have to play. So then Palmer might have to end up going back out to the right if he wants to play.
Yeah.
So we've got multiple different systems. So the players that we've bought in, like Bino Gittins, is he a step up on Pedro Neto or Madueke in them lot? I don't think he is. Is João Pedro an upgrade on Nicholas Jackson? Probably is an upgrade on Nicholas Jackson. But with buying Delap, it's like, who's your starter then? Because
I completely agree with everything that you're saying.
And Giles also played in a system where it's been a 2-man striker system.
Yeah.
He's also only scored 5 goals outside of taking penalties from the last 2 years. He scored 5 goals, I think, in 2 years of open play goals.
Yeah.
So I think he's got like 9, 11 and 10 in his last 3 years. So he's got 30 goals to his name at 23, 24.
And he's costing, 60 mil?
And he's costing £60 million with not a proven track record of goals that is individually creating outside of... He's playing in a 2-man striker role as well. This is what, again, as well, like, are we playing him as a number 9 by himself? He's not accustomed or used to that. So
that's not... Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
How are we going to use him then? What system are we changing for him?
So who's going? Is Jackson leaving?
Jackson might leave then, because I've been having loads of debates on Twitter on the spaces with people, and they're like, we're still going to get another striker. I'm like, well, if another striker's coming, that means Jackson has to go then.
Someone's got to go.
But then if we're getting another striker, it has to be an elite level striker.
Yeah,
and we're not going down that route because we've already seen the policy. We just signed Bino Gittins for 55.
Ekitike?
It might be an Ekitike, but then if you sign Ekitike and then you get rid of Jackson, you've got 3 guys that are in your team, and you're like, who's the best player here?
Yeah,
that's just causing too much problems.
Even with Delap and
that's
Pedro,
causing me problems.
It's the same. It's just
I don't know what I'm getting from. Who's the better one?
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, of the 3, João Pedro, Jackson, and Delap, who would you start as your striker for Chelsea?
This is what my problem is. I don't know. Me personally,
might get you more goals.
Maybe Delap.
So.
Get you goals.
Yeah, only because we've seen stylistically how Delap plays as a number 9 individually by himself up front.
Yeah.
He works hard. He runs down balls. He's going to cause problems. He's a bully.
Yeah.
So he probably stylistically for me will work better in our team.
He's got. You know, I'll tell you one thing. I watched him in the Club World Cup. His movement is exceptional, man.
Yeah, he knows how to move. He knows how to move.
And you know what? As soon as I saw that, I was like, you know, I wish he'd come to Man United. I think he'd have been such a good fit for Man United.
He genuinely does pick up.
I'm telling you now, that boy has got a lot of potential.
He has got potential. Just his passing, his intricacy from getting into those areas. Because, like you said, he makes good runs. Like the other night, he got into a channel run. All he needed to do was find a cut back to Cole Palmer, an easy pass. Didn't find it.
But that will improve.
Hopefully it improves. He's bullying people.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where the ball is. He's not really aware of where the ball is. He just knows where to be, put himself about it, and hopefully the ball's within his eye vision, within his vision, for him to be able to get on it. So,
but even remember the managers played with them as well. Pause. That was so mental.
No, it's more. this morning.
There it is.
Yeah, he's
coached him. He's coached him. He's coached him.
He's coached him. He's coached. He's coached all these players. Was Gittins at Man City as well?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
He was. Yeah.
Was he under Maresca?
Yeah, we've bought that's why people have been taking the piss out of us.
He's getting the band back together, isn't he? Proper.
So he's bringing it all back.
Lavia, Palmer, Bino Gittins.
Well, Sancho was there for briefly.
But there's 2 other players that we still have in the team. Delap and someone else. That's what I'm saying. 5 guys that we've gone it's mad.
Oh. So maybe that's what he's doing. He's just bringing in the players that he knows that's worked for him before.
And it's also the directors, man. They're gone to Brighton again as well. I
saw that today.
It's Joe Shields' connection to youth City academy players and Brighton players. Win Stanley Stewart, Brighton players. Joe Shields helping us out with any of the youth academy players from Man City. And that's
but
it.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing, yeah. What you said is spot on. You're buying 7.5, maybe at a stretch 8 out of 10 players at best in terms of ability. But what is the plan? At what point do you've spent 1.5 bill? Let's say roughly.
Almost 2 billion quid.
At what point do Chelsea think, right, we've got this base, we've got all these youngsters, we've got all these top potential young players. We need an Osimhen on top. We need to go and get a world-class centre-back on top. We need to go and get a world-class goalkeeper. You've got Caicedo, who for me, we spoke about earlier, is a top DM, right?
So these are the players that they bought. Like, the thing is, they've bought players that are expensive, but are not on high wages, which is very hard to get because it's longer contracts. No, but even the fact that he costs you remember he costs £100 million.
Who, Caicedo?
Yeah. So he's already nicking 15-20 million quid off that transfer fee. So he's got a lot of money coming from just that transfer fee. That's why he's happy to be on 100 bags, 150 bags a week. How many players are you going to get that's of a stature where they're worth £80 million, £100 million that are only willing to take 100 bags a week? You don't get many of them. They have to be youngsters that are not at a big club that can be swindled to come to your club.
Yeah, but you know what, though, Sean? You look at the teams that have won the Premier League.
Yeah,
they've all got a solid spine.
I know what the DNA is, but we don't do that. It's not in our structure now.
But are you happy with that?
Of course I'm not.
Right, but this is my question. My question is, where are Chelsea going?
We're a profit-run club.
That's it.
And that's why I hate my club.
It's about business now. It's not about trophies.
It's about business. Okay. I hate my club right now.
That's
and they're hoping that the expensive youngsters are the real deal. And
so Esteval,
and they're trying to break a pattern. Yeah, they're trying to break a pattern of thinking, do you need experience to win a league title? It's like they want to be the first people to be able to have a young team win a league title.
You can't win nothing with kids. Alan Henson.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. But this is what it is. And if Caicedo plays of an experienced midfielder.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Even though he's young. So there are possibilities to be able to build a team that can win a league title of youngsters.
That's why he's getting the youngsters that he knows.
But at the same time, it's the quality of the youngsters that you're getting. If I get Lamine Yamal, I could win a league title.
Yeah.
If I'm buying Bino Gittins, I'm not winning a league title.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's if you're good enough, you're going to win things. But
Lamine Yamal is going to cost you about 250 mil. And
But that's why you can only spend on them players a certain amount of them players. And we signed that with Caicedo. Cole Palmer was lucky. We're not going to run into Cole Palmer left, right and centre for 30 million quid. Yeah. But that's because they've seen that, they're thinking we might be able to. This is why we've got 84 players registered to the team. Have you seen that picture? Have you seen that picture?
No.
Where is that picture today? Oh my gosh, where is it?
It's crazy.
84
But, this picture here.
I see it.
I know you're going to get it, but it's zoomed in. There's about 100 men in that changing room.
There's a giant dressing room. It looks more like a school hall, isn't it?
We've got 84 players or so registered to our club. It's mad.
7-8 goalkeepers, isn't it? Something like that. 6,
9 goalkeepers.
Have you sold anybody yet?
Jesus Christ.
I think 1 or 2 players might have been gone, but I don't even know if
we ain't sold a lot.
Yeah, not.
And they're still looking to buy more, by the way.
João Felix is coming back. Remember?
Yeah, João
Felix is still here.
Nkunku,
Raheem Sterling.
Yeah,
Ben Chilwell's got to come back and sort himself out.
You're not gonna be loading up there, man.
But this is what I'm saying. But PSA and stuff like that, it's not about the fact that we can't sign people and we can't do it. We've got the finances to want to build a structure of a club where we have players on 250s and 300s. We can do that, but we've chose to have quantity more than quality and age brackets of resale value players. We want to get players we want to get money out of our players. Man United went into that problem. Man United went into a problem where they spent so much money over the past 10, 15 years on experienced established players like the Alexis Sanchez's, the Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the Di Marias, and They were all top, but then you got rid of them, and then how much money have you lost? Because they're old.
Yeah.
So we're on that thing like we're able to make money off these players, even if they do not perform. We're going to be able to offload them for a slight profit or the same kind of money.
But do you know what? It's just like
it frustrates me, bro.
Yeah, because it's just a conveyor belt. It's just constant.
It
like, all right, he's good. Let's bring him. Right, he was good last season. We'll get rid of him. We'll bring. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I'm tired, bro. I'm like, I'm fed up. How am I supposed to create content on my club and I hate my club right now? it's mad. I'm just gonna sound like I hate everything. I don't even want to sound like I hate everything. Like the other night, I'm happy my team won, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, bloody hell! How are we gonna be able to win a league title? How are we gonna even be able to challenge for a league title with the likes of Liverpool, City, and Arsenal?
Where do you think? Obviously, it's very early to say. We'll probably do
4th at best.
Okay, that's what's
new stadium as well.
4th at best. Maybe in 2 years. Because when I went to go buy a box for someone that I know of, she wanted to buy a box there, but they said we got a 3-year contract at Chelsea up to the max. Normally they give out a 5-year contract, so they're saying 3 because they're trying to move to Earls Court or to whatever. They were Battersea Station. They were always trying to find somewhere. So
they're not building on Stamford Bridge.
Well, they might build on Chelsea Stamford Bridge, but we're gonna have to move somewhere. All these other places have kind of been occupied. So Battersea's kind of out of the way. So where we actually go to play is going to be a tricky one still. We might have to go play at Wembley. I don't know where we're going to be able to play. But yeah, like we're building stadiums and stuff like that. We're supposed to be competing. This is a real long-term project that they're gambling on, and I don't like gambles.
Yeah.
I'm a gambler. That's mad. For me to not like gambles, it's a bit mad still.
But you know what? I'll be as a neutral. It's really, really intriguing to see what Chelsea are doing.
Of course, it's interesting.
It's interesting to see what happens, because it could either go really, really well or just like really, really bad.
Finishing 4th is really bad for us for what we've done. Because if you spend that amount of money, it's really bad.
But you know what though, Sean? You sell well. And I know what you're saying. That is the process and everything. Yeah. But even under Abramovich, Chelsea used to sell well.
Yeah, we did well.
Yeah.
But that was through success. If you have success, players are in demand.
Yeah.
If you don't have success, players' values diminish.
Completely agree.
Second peak. All right, Liverpool. Apparently they're in. You believe they're in for Isak?
I've got a sneaky feeling that Liverpool will somehow snatch Isak. I saw Gianluca Di Marzio this morning saying that Isak wants to leave Newcastle, and he's obviously a really, really good source. So I don't necessarily believe he wants to leave Newcastle, but I feel like he's open to leaving Newcastle.
Nah, he definitely wants to leave. I've seen a few articles of him requesting to now want to be. He's requested.
He's pushing now.
I'm pretty sure he's been requesting.
Right. Well, where else can he go?
Level up now.
Where else can he go?
Of course he does.
Who can afford him? Barcelona can't afford him. Real Madrid won't spend money like that anymore. They just won't.
They would have to sell Vinny for them to get in.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think maybe they'll sell Rodrigo, but Rodrigo would. Even then, I don't know if they'll go and spend 120.
Even selling Rodrigo for me is weird for me, because that's their right side.
Yeah.
Who they?
No. I know, but apparently I've heard that of all the players that they've got, he's most likely to leave.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But then it's like, where's Vinny going and Mbappe going?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's another thing. So Mbappe's so Real Madrid ain't going to sign.
You'd have to get rid of Vinny. That's what I'm saying. But Barcelona can't afford him.
Right. So PSG won't buy him, I don't think, because they just don't play with that kind of player. I just can't see PSG.
I swear to God, if they signed Isak, it's
over. PSG.
I said it to my friends the other day. If PSG signed Isak, it's long. Champions League, it's long for a while. Because they're going to have a gunman up front.
That's right.
Everything's
just young and fresh and fast.
Just go and sell
two Lamborghinis at fullback. And Pacho, like I said, I keep talking about Pacho.
Yeah, he's
Pacho's wicked, man. They got
Unbelievable.
so many fast players in their team.
Yeah.
It's long.
And then you've got Arsenal, who I just don't feel like will pay more than 100 million for him.
Can afford him.
I think you can get him. It's just about the wages. Can you accommodate the wages?
And he say recently he wants to go to a club of big European history, Champions League history. I think in an interview, it just points to Liverpool.
He just looks like an Arsenal player.
He does. Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if he don't get me wrong. Like Liverpool as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he went Liverpool. But it's like I said, they've already signed a £130 million striker.
I think he suits us more than Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Definitely, stylistically.
I agree with that. Yeah. But if Liverpool were to get Isak, do you think they win the league again next season?
I think that would push them over still. Yeah. I think
above City and above Arsenal.
I think City do look good. City look very good, and like you said, Rodri's back, and Cherky and Reinders.
Reinders.
You know who else? That ain't Nori, brother.
Yeah.
Ain't Nori, yeah.
But we know about Ain't Nori anyway.
No, but he's
Yeah, but I
playing on some expansive role.
I told you he's going to
Club
start for
World
them. I told you he'll start for them. I told you, not every game, but he'll start for them.
So where's you're gonna get his name on Guardiola.
No,
He'll play. They're gonna play for me. I think now, from what I've been seeing from how he's trying to set up in this Club World Cup, they're gonna play 3 centre halves, and Nouri's gonna be playing as like a right wing or right wing back.
Yeah, left
winger, left wing.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have Gavardio, Ake.
Yeah, but Guardiola he's dangerous.
Or Gavardio, Akanji.
Akanji.
Yeah, but Guardiola's he's dangerous going forward as well, though.
Who?
Guardiola.
Yeah, Gavardio is dangerous going forward, but this is what you're going to have to accommodate.
Yeah.
Is he might play as the right-sided centre-back rather than being a left-sided centre-back. Do you get it? Okay. And then because you don't even, like, who knows, man? You might have times when the right midfielder or whoever they're trying to play in the midfielder might end up filling in at right back, and then you've got Gavardio doing overlaps with Nouri and stuff like that. It'll be looking crazy. But I think it depending on whether they can accommodate Gavardio to play in a different position, like on the right hand side of it. I don't know, because he's left-footed. I can't see it happening. But Akanji plays as a.
He can play everywhere.
He's the right back. He's the guy that's been playing right back in certain times, and he will just slip into being a centre back. Nouri goes, and they play a 3-5-2.
But Reinders, man, that guy, he just looks like he's going to be perfect for the Premier League.
It can be problematic with that system. I can't lie. Pep might have found a system now that is going to look bananas. You're gonna have him free at the back. Free at the back is going to be long for a lot of crap teams.
Don't worry about yourself,
But this is what I'm saying. Arsenal are in that thing, like it's like.
Don't worry about us.
Are we going to be up to the same standard and level as what City's going to be able to now reproduce with a new system, and what Liverpool are trying to do with buying Florian Wirtz and now maybe even a striker?
And they're 2 new left back, right back.
And
the wing back. I forgot about that.
We're slacking in the transfer market.
And you lot haven't even started
Tomorrow you'll get all the deals started.
And you lot ain't even at the Club World Cup. You should be doing business. We've already got João Pedro flying over to America to start for us.
And do you know what's
He's going to be playing, isn't he? He's going to be playing.
He can play, yeah.
Do you know what's frustrating? Sorry to go to Arsenal.
No, that's cool.
But it's seeing our competition do all these deals, quickly get over the line, City, Liverpool, and we're just there like...
I know. It is frustrating.
Yeah, but I think you'll
big
get
deals. Obviously, I know it's coming, but it's just like, when?
You want to get it done early, man.
Yeah,
you want a pre-season.
Kepa, Zubimendi, Norgard will be in very, very soon. And then if you can get Eze over the line, that's a really, really good.
Eze is a big sign-ish.
You need a striker.
No, he's a big signing. Eze's a big signing.
Yeah, but he's not Shirky and man.
Yeah, listen.
If you're happy to stay with Havertz up front,
you don't win nothing.
It ain't enough.
You don't win nothing.
I could see with Arsenal as well. I could see us signing Eze, not even signing the striker.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an Arsenal thing.
And you will be going mental the whole season about why we never signed a striker.
And then you'll be crying out for Chris Wood then.
Crying out for Norwood. Oh God,
Chris Wood as well, Chris.
Crying out for Norwood as well.
Jesus. Rastafari.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, all right, let's jump into Man United. So,
finally.
And Bomo.
It's not done yet.
Rejected again?
No, it's not rejected. It's going to get done, man. It's just calma. It's going to get done, man. It's going to get done.
What's the transfer fee?
Over 60 million.
Is this 60 million got rejected though?
Who said that? When did it say that?
I don't know if this is up.
Nah, man, that's some book source, bro. That's my Liverpool works wages source, isn't it?
He said the Times.
What did he say?
Yeah.
When was that?
Man United 60 million.
No. That's old news. Rejected. That's old news. No. It's from my understanding, like it's basically Brentford trying to get as much of the upfront fee as possible. Yeah. That will over. But they've had more talk since the weekend.
Okay.
Yes, they're just trying to get. So basically, Man United's initial offer was 45 plus 10. Which was rejected straight away. Yeah. What Brentford want is at least, I think, 55 to probably 60 million up front. Not up front, but they want that as the base fee.
Okay.
Whereas Man United are trying to get like 55, 58, whatever as the base fee. But I think Brentford want more, like so that then you can put on the add-ons afterwards, so that the 60 million is guaranteed because they feel that he's worth more than Cunha, and Cunha cost 62.5. But then Cunha had a release clause in his contract, so it's a bit different.
Like the same player,
it just looks bare top heavy right now for Man United.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo. No,
bit like Chelsea, then, isn't it?
Well, yeah. To be fair, I don't really rate our defenders really, but Man United haven't got a back line.
No, we've got a couple of decent defenders, man. Our defense was a problem, but not a massive problem. Our midfield was a problem, but not a massive problem.
You got a problematic guy in goal.
Yeah, that I agree.
Your centre half is Leach even back.
He'll be back he'll be back running in the next sort of, I think they said mid to end of July.
I don't know. Is lend me a Euro decent?
Yeah, he's good.
Nah, come on, Lenny Euro's he's a good player, man. I'm surprised you lot went all over him last summer.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. We love kids. Pause. Rastafari. Obviously
Mazraoui's been good. Maguire's obviously Maguire. I think Aiden Heaven will have a good season next season. I hope he'll have a good season next season. Midfield, we're definitely light midfield, because if Bruno's going to be playing over Ugarte, that's going to be a problem. We're going to get ran through.
That's long.
Yeah. So we need someone with a bit more legs and physicality in there.
Casemiro's still going to be there next year.
It's looking that way because we can't get rid of him. Who's going to give him 350k a week? Not even Saudi want that. He's got 1 year left. He's got 1 year left.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, but
Casemiro, Ugarte, Kobe Mainoo.
Well, Kobe Mainoo, that's one. This is a big season for him because he's putting a lot of work in the gym right now because he needs to be fitter, sharper.
Does Amrin like him now?
He does. He wants him to sign a new contract. We do. Yeah, we want him because, but. He's obviously I wouldn't say he's regressed in terms of progression, but he's stagnated at the moment simply because he picked up injuries last season. He had a couple of bad injuries last season. So let's see what happens with Kobe Mainoo. But this is a big season for him because he could make that number 6, number 8 position his 100%. We don't have that many options there. Yeah. So, and one interesting thing that we're doing, which Chelsea have done really well, City have done really well over the last decade or over a decade. Working on our academy, really trying to pick up like good top young players like Aiden Heaven, Chido Obi. We've got JJ Gabriel, who's 14 now. He's just signed a new contract. He's meant to be like everyone is after him. Another couple of lads have signed new contracts over the last 6 months. So Jason Wilcox and Vivella are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So that's where you're going to see us picking up players who are of younger age to like progress through the academy. That's what we need. So basically, and not just to play for Man United, but to be able to sell again, which is what City have done really well. Chelsea have done that really well, to get a bit of profit, so then you can go and buy the bigger players. You know, if they're not going to make it at Man United, get rid of them, but try and get some money for them.
There is no bigger players to buy, bruv.
What do you mean?
There's hardly any bigger players to buy.
Yeah, but more experienced players then. More experienced players you can come in and hit the ground running rather than players that you're waiting for to develop. So, listen, I feel like for the next 2-3 years, it's really interesting. I think next season in the Premier League is going to be really interesting.
I can't wait.
Liverpool, Arsenal, City, I think will definitely be the top 3 again. I don't know what order at the moment, but that will definitely be the top 3 again from what I'm seeing.
It's mad how it'll be the same top 3, but it's going to be arguably, for me, one of the worst seasons that we've just had to probably one of the best seasons I think the Premier League will ever see in competition.
You think, next season, you think?
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
I think season will win it.
But, bro, I know what you're seeing but in Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Just remember that football's a bit of a distorted kind of level of football, man.
Yeah.
Well, with the players they've brought in, they're going to win it, man. I mean,
Rodri but if Rodri got injured last season, and look what happened to them. If they go and get another injury or two,
no, if he stays fit.
Oh no, like if I always base it on if everyone's fit.
Yeah.
I still think Liverpool, they're good, but you're right. I probably would side with City.
I think
but
City.
If Arsenal sign a striker, maybe it's a bit different.
I don't think we can compete with City even if we sign a striker.
City
keep their team fit, Rodri and that. We're not winning.
I think Partey is going to be a big miss for you lot.
100%.
Yeah, he'll be a big miss. I think Zubimendi is a really good player, top player really, but.
First season as well.
Yeah, physically Partey. But then that's why you brought in Norgard. To try and deal with that physicality. It's a smart signing, and I'll tell you another bargain signing.
Talk about it, but I got carry on.
Who's that? Christian Norgard?
Yeah, because a lot of Arsenal fans are talking shit.
Alright, go on, address it.
No, but go on, carry on first.
No, another signing that I was going to say is a really interesting one. I don't think he'll go to a top 4 or top 6 team, but I think he'll be a really smart signing. Is Ndidi. I think €9 million release clause he's got. He's still only 28 as well. €9 million for a proper experienced Premier League midfielder. It's a bargain, man.
Yeah.
So I think that would be. I actually thought that you lot might go for him to replace Partey. But then obviously you went with Norgard instead. But Norgard's what, 32, isn't he? 31, 32? 31, okay.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say about him?
No, I was saying the Arsenal fans, they keep talking shit about the Norgard signing and the Zubimendi and why we got a striker, but you have to replace
Jorginho and Partey
before you even go out and do anything, because, for example, imagine we did go and get a striker and we missed the Norgard deal. You know what I'm saying to you? Then we start the season a midfielder short. What would Arsenal fans be saying? When we get
Declan Rice goes and gets injured.
He gets injured second game. Why have you not replaced Jorginho?
It's a backup midfielder.
They'll be going mad. So sort your base out first. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Realistically, we have 2 strikers.
Yeah.
In our squad at this present moment.
What, Jesus and
not the best.
Havertz.
If you're going off squad, we can start the season. We have 2 strikers. Realistically, if you're going off squad depth. So Arsenal fans, stop talking shit, brother. Look at what's going on. It's annoying, bro. And this is why people like you diss Arsenal fans because.
What did I say? I didn't say anything. What did I say?
No, but people just always laugh at Arsenal fans. We're just always talking rubbish, bro.
Yeah, but you do though.
No, some of us.
Nah, listen. I said to you that's a smart. Listen, Norgard is a captain. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's a captain. He's a leader. He's experienced. He's physical. He's
a good backup,
he's a good backup. A couple of years, a bit like Jorginho signing. Jorginho for 12 million was a good signing for you lot. It turned out to be a good signing for you lot. So
and he's not going to start.
He's
not there to bloody start week in week out.
He'll fill in.
You need people that need to be happy in your squad that are happy to sit on the bench.
But he's a leader in a change room.
But it's good enough. There's a lot of more attributes that they can come and add to that team without being on the pitch. But like you need to have people happy there. It's like we've got people that are like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall's happy to be there. He's going to come on. He's going to give you 110%
because he's happy being on the bench.
Because he's just happy being for Chelsea. He's happy being there. You got Nkunku, absolutely hates being at Chelsea right now. His performances stank when he came on. You need to have players, even if they are, like I said, that's why it's important to have 9 out of 10 starting and 7 out of 10s off your bench that just want to fight. And that's all it is. You need fighters to come off the bench.
It's a squad game, man.
It's a squad game.
Yeah, it's a squad game. It is.
Do you think Nkunku, we had this debate last week, do you think Nkunku would do good at Arsenal? If he's happy though?
I don't think so. I don't know where he's playing.
Yeah. Up top?
Nah, he can't play up top by himself.
He's just not an out-and-out striker.
He's not an out-and-out striker.
You don't reckon he'll score a lot of goals for us?
I don't think so.
You don't reckon?
It's a tricky one with him, but it's like I don't know what he is now. Because is he motivated? Because he just doesn't look. Don't get me wrong. The past couple of games, some guys are like saying, "Oh, Nkunku looks a lot more fitter," but he might be trying to get a move. Maybe he might be trying to get a move. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's capable of playing up front by himself.
Yeah. All right, guys, got to wrap it up. That was the On The Bench podcast, episode 58, I think, 7. Shit, that's my marbles, huh? All right, that was the On The Bench podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe,
please, because this costs a lot of time and effort. Because it's like 45. If you can see, sweat,
literally, man. Literally.
It is hot in here.
I've been wiping the sweat off my brow the whole time, man.
But anyway, like, subscribe. We're gonna comment. We're gonna get out of here. The heat's got me all flustered.
Rastafari.
Press everything.